For instance, we have very stated goals for new construction and how and when and where new construction will be green certified. We're in the process, and again, government to government. We've worked with the federal government, we've gotten some grants, and we've done an energy audit of all of our facilities, and we're in the process of starting with something as fundamental as lighting. Internal lighting, external lighting. You'll see that as you move into our city buildings that we've begun to convert our lighting. You'll start to see that in our street lights. I happen to be in my second profession now. I've moved from commercial banking to commercial real estate development. My partner and I just finished building a couple of years ago a brand new building, and we put a bunch of energy efficient components into that building. But you know, it gets beyond just the energy efficiency of it. It makes it a much nicer environment to work in. When you can control the temperature, when you can control the lighting in ways that heretofore we haven't been able to do, you create a sustainable environment, I would submit, and a much more inviting environment, and I would also submit increased productivity. So, as I mentioned, we're doing a lot of things in the area of this environmental leg of the stool. But I think probably more important for our discussion today is the second leg of this three-legged stool, and that's economically. Some of you may be aware that the City of East Lansing has started a center that we call the Technology Innovation Center. And it's been a major success. And it focuses on entrepreneurship and on entrepreneurial spirit. In this center, it's housed in the third floor of the former Jacobson's building. We have 14 brand spanking new businesses that were started by one or two individuals with an entrepreneurial spirit. And a couple of these companies have begun to grow. They start as one or two person companies. They grow to 3, 4, or 5, and one of them has already graduated from the Technology Innovation Center, is well on their way to becoming a more mature and growth company. This is a focus that we have done in the City of East Lansing because we recognize that we have never been an industrial city or a manufacturer-based facility. We recognize that as a suburban community, that we are part of a state that clearly was manufacturing-oriented and manufacturing-focused. And I want to caution at this point that in Michigan, we should never, ever be ashamed of that. We are a state that excelled with manufacturing. What we have to do now is retool those skills. And as the pastor said, instead of building motors that went in cars, let's build the batteries that are energy efficient, that go into cars that now rely or now become electric cars instead of internally combusted cars driven by the internal combustion motor. So as we look at this as a city, and as we work with Michigan State University, and we have created partnerships with MSU Business Connect and MSU Technologies, the idea being is there is so much wonderful research that is taking place on the campus of Michigan State University. How do we transfer that off the campus, and how do we commercialize that, and how do we turn that into jobs and keep those jobs in the city of East Lansing, in the mid-Michigan community, and in the state of Michigan? They're not going to be the traditional manufacturing jobs. They're going to be a new type of manufacturing job, or a new type of assembly, or a new type of research. So the city has been very, very focused on that. We're very proud of the Technology Innovation Center and the success that we are recognizing there. And it has worked so well that we are now kicking off. If you look at the Technology Innovation Center as an incubator, well, now we're creating something called the Hatch. Not only are we going to incubate, but we're going to hatch the chick, if you will. Okay? And the Hatch is going to be formed with a number of MSU students. Very entrepreneurial in spirit. I know a couple of them. Become very good friends with them because I'm very impressed with their creativity and the energies they have and wanting to help us retool the state of Michigan. So we're going to start this new entity called the Hatch, and hopefully we will start creating. We can move it up into the Technology Innovation Center and incubate, and then move those jobs, hopefully, into buildings in downtown East Lansing. And as we redevelop and create a sustainable, more sustainable downtown, we will create these energy efficient buildings and move those companies into those buildings, create a more dynamic, more diverse, and more sustainable downtown. So that's the second.